Hi guys, my name is Kirsty. Welcome back to Upside Down Books. Today we are going to be looking at my March book haul, which I thought I would have like maybe 2 books to show you, but who's surprised? I've got more than that.
Non più tra I farfalloni amoroso, notte giorno di torno.
So as always, let's start with the books I don't physically have. I can't remember for the life of me what audiobook I got this month. So for my Audible subscription this month, I got Only Human by Sylvain Neuvel. If you've been around for a while, you may be aware of the fact that I have a great love of the Sleeping Giants trilogy. I've read books 1 and 2, and Only Human is book 3. So I'm really looking forward to continuing this series because I just think it's going to be an amazing conclusion to it. It has been like such a dramatic and epic and awesome story so far, and I'm fascinated to see where book 3 is going to take it. It's always such a wild and exciting audiobook performance as well, so I have really high expectations for this, and yeah, I really don't know how they're going to wrap it up, so let's hope it doesn't disappoint. So then let's talk about, I have three advanced copies on my Kindle that I have acquired since we last spoke. So let's talk about them in publication order. The one that's coming up first is The Ones We're Meant to Find by Joan He, and this one has the most amazing cover you've ever seen, I dare say. Honestly, my main reason for picking this one is because of the cover. I just want to read this book because of the cover, and I saw that NetGalley had some copies going, and I was like, I volunteer as tribute, I would like to read this book. So that's coming out on the 4th of May, and I have no idea what it's about. Let's find out together. Ooh, one of the most twisty, surprising, engaging page-turner YAs you'll read this year, apparently. So, what? Trapped on an abandoned island for 3 years without any recollection of how she arrived or memories of her prior life, all she knows is somewhere out there beyond the horizon, she has a sister named Kay. Determined to find her, C devotes her days to building a boat from junk parts scavenged. How did I not read the blurb before now? Doing everything in her power to survive until the day she gets off the island. Oh my god. And then there's another story. Casey, I guess she must be Kay, is also living a life of isolation. This eco-city she calls home is one of the 8 levitating around the world built for people who protected the planet and now need protecting from it. With natural disasters on the rise due to climate change, eco-cities provide clean air, water and shelter, and their residents in exchange must spend at least 1/3 of their time in stasis pods, conducting business virtually wherever possible to reduce environmental this book is just, it's still going. While Casey, an introvert and loner, doesn't mind the lifestyle, her sister Celia hated it. Popular and lovable Celia much preferred the outside world, but no one could have predicted that Celia would take a boat out to sea, never to return. Oh my god. Now it's been 3 months since her disappearance and Kay has given up hope. Logic says that her sister must be dead, but as the public decries her stance, she starts to second guess herself and decides to retrace the steps. Oh my god. I can't wait to read that. I don't know. That is the wildest roller coaster of a blurb I have ever read. Well, I'm 10 times more excited to read that. So that's coming out in May. Moving on to the next one. So I then have a book called How to Disappear by Bruno Gomes. I have to say this was another one where I was really intrigued by the cover. I was like, oh, do I, don't I, do I, don't I? And then I was like, I just did something really captivating about like the pot plant instead of the head. I love it. So I just had to do it. Now I think this one's fairly more straightforward, but again, I have only briefly read the blurb, so let's also read this one together. You want to disappear from society, you want to erase yourself. When your mediocre life in Bondi forces you to contemplate your own insignificance, escaping seems like the perfect fix, except when your past isn't even worth remembering. But after traveling from paradise to paradise, stealing things that aren't yours and rejecting things that are, you come to realize that no one can hide from ghosts, not even you. You hate yourself. You will also come to find that you love yourself. It is merely a matter of accepting your roots. Written entirely in second person. Ugh. Yes, I guess that entire blurb was second person. By debut author, follows a 19-year-old girl, as she loses her job, robs her friends, ditches her ex-boyfriend, and on a whim catches a flight to New York City. I love it. I love it. That's just, that's going to be quite harrowing to read. Ooh. So that's coming out on 9th of June. Can't wait to read that one. Very excited. That brings us to the next book. Now this one I was contacted by the author themselves, and I very rarely take on books that independent authors send me these days because I have so many other review copies, but I loved the cover. Are we ready for it? It's called Saving Seymour. there's two boys carrying a killer whale. How could I say no to that? I think it's adorable. So this one's coming out on the 15th of June. And I can't remember what the blurb is. I did read it though. Oh, that's right. So this is about a world where people can't see color until they meet their soulmate. So once they meet their soulmate, they can suddenly see color again. And I think it's two boys and they're very angsty, and one of them's like a failed artist and all sorts of things. So I think this book is gonna be a really funny sort of contemporary romance, and it has a brilliant cover. What more could we ask for? So those are the 3 arcs sitting on my Kindle awaiting to be read. Let's talk about all the other books I've got. So I've got another 7 books to show you. I don't know how this happens. Don't ask me. I'm sure it's not my fault. So the first one is Storm Dancer by J. Kristoff. Now this I think is the first J. Kristoff book I actually own. So I got this in my blind date with the book from Read and Relax. I'm still a rep for them, so my code still works. It's down in the linky bit below. I've heard endless good things about J. Kristoff. I've honestly just been really put off by the hype. It's so intimidating. So this one has like 3 big bits that stand out. That says a dying land, an impossible quest, and a hidden gift. And that's really all I need to know that it's going to be a fun fantasy adventure. It's also been blurbed by Patrick Rothfuss, which is great signs. And just like endless good reviews from basically half the world. So I'm sure I'm going to love this one. It's down to the whim of the TBR jar as to when I pick it up. Now the next 2 books I actually got from a book club. So the Dimmicks book club is up and running again, which is my local, well, I would say local bookstore. It's just like the only Australian bookstore at this point, just about. And we played games and we won some like leftover review copies, so things that have already been published that they just had lying around. So the first one I got was Love is a Revolution by Renee Watson. I actually read Renee Watson's previous book to this one. I can't remember what it was called, and I really enjoyed it. I read it in about a day, which very, very rarely happens, though granted, it was a very small book. So I have read her writing before, and whilst this isn't, contemporary isn't my usual genre, unless it's a book with a killer whale on the cover, I know that I'm gonna like her writing. So this doesn't have a blurb, okay? Oh, it's on the inside. An open mic night with friends, instant love. Ooh, okay. Well, the blurb thing on the back says the most radical thing you can do is love yourself and each other. I'm sure it's going to be really sweet, and it's got a glorious green cover. The other one that I got is called Providence by Max Berry, and I love the cover. I'm going to let you have a look at that one up close, because like, look at the little spaceman and the water. There's something about that imagery I just love. So apparently they've written other science fiction before. Never heard of him before. Never heard of this book before, actually, but I'm curious. The video changed everything. Before that, we could believe that we were safe, special, chosen. We thought that the universe was a twinkling ocean of opportunity waiting to be explored. Afterward, we knew better. That is the opening blurb line for that. Oh, okay, so we've got deadly warships and humanity being threatened and a crew of 4, and it sounds like it's going to be fun. It's not very long, so I think that'll be a good read. But again, down to the TBR jar as to when this gets picked. The next book I have to show you is a special book. Now this came in a new subscription box, so spoiler warning for any Perth-based people out there who have subscribed to a new book box called Fable Crate, because I'm about to talk about the book that came in the first box for that one. So Fable Crate is this new subscription company, and it's just like any other book box out there, except it's based in Perth, which meant I can actually afford it. So they work together on a special cover and sprayed edges, and that book was Blackwood. Wait. Welcome to Blackwood. I missed half the title. This is by Kaya Thompson, and it's got quite a busy cover, I have to say. It is busy, but it's got a little white spine sort of thing going on. I'm pretty sure this is about werewolves and all sorts, and it's got like, I always want to call this colour turquoise, but I'm pretty sure I don't actually know what the colour turquoise is. It's one of those colours I just never quite pin down, but it's teal? Is that, it's this colour, okay. And so that's really nice. Oh, and the naked book is also lovely. It's like a cloth bound. Can you hear the cloth? And it's got the embossed bits on the spine and the cover, like really 10 out of 10 on the book design there. So there will be exclusive editions, I'm pretty sure, of all books coming in Fable Crate, which is very exciting. I will let you guys look this one up, because if I read all the blurbs out, we'll be here forever. But yes, I'm pretty sure werewolves and YA fantasy are the vibes we're going for here. The next book was a pre-order that arrived that I'm very excited about, because that was The Iron Raven by Julia Kagawa. Julia Kagawa is like one of my favourite authors of all time, though I didn't like her Talon series very much, but everything else I have loved, I think. I haven't finished reading all of her books actually. I keep leaving them incomplete. It got so bright. Why is it so bright? So this is obviously the latest book in the Iron Face series. We've had a massive break between books. If you haven't read the Iron Face series, I'm pretty sure you can just pick it up from this point, but this one is following the character of Puck. I'm not going to read out the blurb just in case anyone's in the middle of reading the Iron Face series, because it kind of does spoil the entire series. So there's the quartet of the Iron Fae, and then there's like a trilogy that follows, which follows Megan's younger brother, and then now we have the Iron Raven, and I'm really excited. I mean, like, Ash was always my favorite, but I will settle for a book from Puck's perspective. That is absolutely fine by me. I'm hoping this will be fabulous. I'll be really upset if it's not. So that leaves me with a couple of arcs to show you. On the whole, haven't really gone out of my way to collect books this month, if we're not counting arcs as going out of my way, which obviously it is. Financially, have not gone out of my way that much to collect books. So the next one I have to show you is Leave Me Alone by Christian Hull. So this guy I have seen on TikTok a lot, and I really, really wanted to read his memoir. So thank you very much, Alan and Unwin, for giving me a copy of this book to read and review. It came out on the 30th of March. And I talked about it in my TBR video. I was having deja vu for a second there. I've still not gotten around to it because I'm trying really hard. There's just so many books. But I will be reading this very shortly. So if you know who he is, that's exciting. If you don't know, I'm sure you don't care. So let's move on to the next book. Next book I'm probably not going to be reading, but thank you very much to Harley Quinn for sending me a copy. And it is called Trick of the Light by Fiona McCallum. I have been sent a few of her books before. And my mum has read them, and I meant to team up with her to do a review, and she did really like them. They're very easy breezy, light and easy to read books, and probably would make a fabulous Mother's Day gift. There's a lot of, like, if I had time, I would read this, but I don't think I'm going to have time to get around to this one. But nonetheless, this came... I actually don't know when this one comes out. So this one either came out at the end of March or is... No, actually I think it is an April release, so it's coming out sometime this month, but I'm not sure exactly on what the date is. So this is this one, ta-da, Australian author, published by Harley Quinn, so thank you very much. So that brings me to the end of my book haul. These are all the books, plus some, that I managed to acquire last month. Much, much more tame. Let's be honest, much more tame since the previous months, but still quite an amazingly big haul. This has definitely surprised me. I wasn't expecting to have this many books to show you guys, but at least I haven't made myself broke buying books. We're going to take that as a win. So let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of these or if you're planning to, and I will see you in my next video. Goodbye.
Alle gloria militar.